Professor Hanneman. How unexpected.
Hello, Miss Dorothea. There is something I would like to ask you, should you have a moment.
And whatever would that be, Professor?
It's just some rumor I heard about your prejudice against the nobility. You remember when you came to me before, and we talked about how I used to be noble? I was just wondering what your aim was.
To clarify, I only hate nobles who are obsessed with their status. You're not that kind of man, Professor. I mean that, really. And it sounds like you never were.
I see. But hating nobles obsessed with their status, you must have had some terrible experience in the past. My apologies. That was rather presumptuous.
No, it's fine. As I'm sure you know, I was a highly praised songstress for a time. Before I was a singer, though, I was an orphan. And before that, I was the daughter of a noble's maid.
My goodness! From an orphan to a renowned songstress. That is quite a life you have led, Miss Dorothea.
Well, I don't remember much of my early years. My father was never there, and my mother was driven out of the noble house where she worked. Before long, she fell ill. I was always alone, and I lived in the alleys of the imperial capital, just trying to survive from one day to the next.
I see.
Eventually, after I became a singer, I met the nobleman that I think is my father.
Oh.
He'd had a child with a maid, but the child didn't have a crest. So he threw them both away. Those were his very words. I can't prove that he really was my father, but I suppose it doesn't matter. He didn't know who I was. And when he flirted with me, my feelings were something beyond fury. I was dumbfounded. In truth, I felt that way about all of the nobles who flocked around me, yet would just as easily have tossed me away should it better suit them.
You have my most heartfelt of apologies, Dorothea. I am afraid my curiosity has opened old wounds. Sadly, it is undeniable that the nobility is full of such terrible people. Perhaps even myself.
Professor?
Oh, it is nothing. Just lost in a memory of my own. Just know that I will do my part to ensure that you always know kindness in this world.
Thank you.
It seems I'm not the only one here. Manuella?
Oh, Seteth. Hello.
This is quite the surprise. I would not expect to find you here outside of ordinary prayer time.
Praying? No, I was just resting. Whenever I'm in the infirmary, I simply cannot get out of doing work. I need a place to sit and close my eyes.
There is no need to hide it. It is obvious you were praying quite solemnly just now.
No, I was just enjoying some old memories. That's all. In fact, I was just thinking about when my parents first brought me here as a child. I wandered off from my parents because I heard a beautiful voice. It was a woman, singing, somewhere just out of sight. I began to sing along, hoping she would hear me and that we might meet. I never found her, whoever she was. Yet, it was she who taught me I could sing.
Interesting. I'd never heard that. But I suppose if you were only a child, this would be before I arrived at Garreg Mach. In any case, if that singing voice helped you find your way, then that is a wonderful thing.
I've never told anyone else, but I believe it was the goddess I heard. And that day, she gifted me my singing voice. And I thank the goddess for leading me back here after I left the opera company.
You know, when you speak of the goddess in this way, it is as though you are an entirely different person. If you were to behave that way more in your daily life, I would have a much higher opinion of you.
Oh, that's very sweet, coming from you, Seteth. Should I take that to mean that you like your ladies pious and respectable?
One little compliment and you completely lose control of yourself. What am I to do with you?
Oh, it's a joke. Look, I'm just no good at serious conversations. Although, I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in knowing what kind of woman does get your attention.
As thanks for the touching tale you have shared, I will satisfy your curiosity just this once. My preferred woman is kind, quiet, and proper. But above all else, she is straightforward and honest.
Quiet. Proper. There's no need to be cruel, Seteth.
Manuella, there's something I must discuss with you.
Alois, hello. You're looking more serious than usual. Is everything okay?
I'm in dire straits. Can you help me think of a gift for my daughter? Her birthday's just around the corner, and I can't think of anything to send her. Frankly, though I've sent her some wonderful gifts over the years, she never seems too excited about them. So, this year, I want to send her something special. Something that she'll gush about.
I wouldn't know the first thing about buying a gift for a child, never having had one myself. Now, I must ask you to leave the infirmary. I need to make room for sick and injured patients, who I am sure will arrive at any moment.
Oh, please, have a heart! Can't you help me at all? This is an emergency! I've been racking my brain. I have no idea what she might like, and time's running out. I thought that a young woman such as yourself might be able to help.
Young? Did you just call me? Could you repeat that, please?
Of course! Anything for a young, charming beauty such as yourself. I can think of none worthier of that description.
Well, your quite astute observations have inspired me. So, let's discuss your daughter's birthday gift.
Oh, thank you. In that case, will you come shopping with me when you're done for the day?
Very well. Now, let's begin with the simplest question. What does your daughter enjoy? What kind of gifts have you given her for previous birthdays?
Well, for the past few years, I've been sending her ancient coins.
Excuse me?
Coins, I said, from ancient civilizations. I've been diligently collecting them and passing them on. They're precious and historically significant. The makings of a great gift, don't you think? Is something wrong? Oh, you don't think an ancient coin is much of a present, I take it?
I'm sure that for the right person, such a gift would be exquisite. You know what, Alois? Don't you fret. I'll think of something that will make your daughter happy and make up for all of your other gifts.
Manuella? What's she doing down there?
Ugh. What did I do to deserve pain like this? Alright. Same thing as always.
She seems fine. I ought to just keep walking. See no evil, right?
Stay right there. Cyril! It must be a little dollop of destiny meeting you here. Listen, you wouldn't leave me when I needed a little help, would ya?
Okay, what do you need?
That's my boy, Cyril. You're a saint. I don't want to be trouble, but get me water and medicine. Now, please? I feel a bit better now. Thank you so much, Cyril. My sweet, dear little Cyril.
Professor Manuella, why do you do this to yourself? It makes you feel so bad the next day, I don't see the point.
Oh, you know, sometimes I'm upset and... well, that's it really. It's not something a kid like you could understand. Maybe one day. Or not. Who knows? All I know is that my head aches.
Professor, isn't this stuff why you keep running men off? and them running is what upsets you. Then you do this all over again.
You can't understand heartbreak until you've felt it for yourself. But when you're older, your heart will break. And I'll make sure to be there. To get you water and all that.
That's okay.
You're always so nice and sweet, Cyril. I'll pay you back. Promise.
Nope, no thanks. No reason to. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, don't be shy. I'll be waiting in the wings for that little heart of yours to shatter. Oh, Cyril. What were you saying? I interrupted, I think.
I was just saying I need to get going. A lot of work to do. Lots. Okay, bye.
That battle was a decent challenge, but when push came to shove, they didn't have a chance. Before long, all of the church's enemies will have been destroyed.
You must really love worshipping the church. Or is it just Rhea?
Lady Rhea. You're the only one in the Knights who doesn't address her with the proper respect. It's not just that I worship Lady Rhea. I respect her, admire her, revere her.
I don't get the Cerros religion. Or Rhea.
Shamir, if you were anyone else, I would cut you down for saying that. She saved your life.
She did, and that's why I fight for her. Doesn't mean I worship her.
You never change. You're so stubborn.
You're the stubborn one. When we're on missions related to Rhea, it's like you're wearing blinders. Wanting to help her is admirable, but you'll be of no use if you get yourself killed.
I don't plan on getting killed. And it's not that I'm wearing blinders. I'm just focused. I've devoted my heart to Lady Rhea. She's the reason I wield my sword.
As long as you don't get killed or cause me any trouble, I don't really care.
So my death would cause you trouble?
That's not what I meant.
Let's give it a rest. There's no point in arguing.
Fine, but I want you to know something. It's not easy to put your life in the hands of someone who doesn't share your beliefs.
I understand. I think we can both agree on that.
You know, Catherine, you really saved my hide. If not for you, I would have bought that phony coin. So I just wanted to say, money thanks. Really, I can't begin to express my gratitude.
There's no need to thank me, Alois. It was nothing. But I am a little worried about you. You just immediately believed what he was saying. You're way too trusting. I wish you'd be a little more skeptical about people, that's all.
Yes, you make a good point. I'll try to be more cautious from now on.
Excuse me, sir. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt.
Good day, ma'am. Do you need something?
I'm afraid so. You see, I'm a humble traveler, and a pickpocket stole all my money. I don't have enough to get home, and I have nowhere to sleep tonight. Please, sir, spare a little money to help me.
Oh, I'm so sorry about your troubles. I don't have much on me, but here.
Alois, no, not so fast! You there, traveler. Tell me your name. I'd like to take an official statement from you so that we can investigate this theft. Once we ascertain exactly what happened, then we will lend you some money. How does that sound? And she's gone.
What? You don't mean she was trying to...
Yes, she was. It's a common trick for cheats to pull. They pluck at your heartstrings so that you'll give them your money. You just said you'd be more careful, too. You really are an easy mark, Alois.
Ugh, how embarrassing.
Why are you so quick to trust people?
I've always believed that to earn others' trust, you have to be trusting.
You're taking that philosophy a bit too far.
Whew, time for a breather. Hey, Professor. Yep, noticed you have been too. Seems like it's been a real rough day for just about everybody, huh? I've been so busy I still haven't eaten. I hope there's still food left. How come you're carrying that around? Whatever, I'm hungry. When you're hungry enough, just about anything tastes good. What a day. I need a nap, but I still gotta get the dining hall cleaned up. Professor, that's funny. You push yourself harder than anybody else. You make me look lazy. Besides, I don't even break a sweat doing this stuff. The day Lady Rhea comes home, I want her to see the monastery the way it was 5 years ago. That's why I do all this stuff. For her. And the harder I work, the better. Heck, I'd do more than I do now if there were hours in the day. But I can't go without sleep. Tried once. You must think I'm pretty weird, huh, Professor? I'm always on about Lady Rhea, and I'm not even from Fodlan. I bet most people around here think I'm kinda weird. But I'm real grateful for everything Lady Rhea's done for me. That's nice of you to say. Real nice. Thanks, Professor. It's good to know you like me. Helps me feel even more at home. I've heard people say that good folks have a heart of gold. Not real gold, I mean. Just they always care about everybody else. Even guys like me. Lady Rhea's incredible. But I figure you're just the same, Professor. Okay. I guess I gotta give in and get some sleep. I'll get up extra early to make up for it. Good night, Professor.
Hey, take this.
That smell. That sound. This is gold. A sizable stash of precious gold. What gives? Don't tell me you got your mitts on the church's vault.
You fool. It's simply a reward. Nothing to get in a tizzy over.
No way I can accept this, pal. Trust me, I haven't. No way I can accept.
Just shut up and take it. Call it your fee for providing me with information. What you told me. The tale from your mother's homeland? It really helped me. Anyway, if you don't actually need it, I'm sure you'll find a use for it. Maybe take your mom out for a night on the town.
Looks like you're insisting then. Fine, I'll use it to buy her some good grub. But I thought you didn't actually find any answers in my little tale.
Not quite, but it helped me in other ways. I've stopped vexing myself over unimportant details, like who I am or who I think I might be.
That's all fine and good, but is it really worth its weight in gold? This is coin we're talking about.
Look, do you want it or not? Is there something else you prefer? Wow, that was one hell of a sigh.
Look, you're better than me at thinking and betting, but right in this moment, you're the fool. You. Do I like gold? Yes. Do I want it? Need it? Yes and yes. While we're at it, I like brawling. Women too. But there's something that I care about even more than gold, fighting, and women. Any ideas?
Oh, this is tough. Let me guess. Hopelessly losing every bet you place? A good drink?
You really think highly of me, don't you? Dead wrong. It's having a bash bro. A friend to fight with and fight for.
Seems I was a bit off base there.
I guess to you, everyone is either an underling or a business associate. But with a bash bro, there's no such thing as an overdue loan. No hierarchies or other nonsense. It's someone to trust, both in and out of battle. Someone to share life's ups and downs with.
I see. No need to reward a bash bro, I suppose.
That's the ticket. I know you were born into a world of trickery and exploitation, but you don't have to live like that anymore. Now you've got me.
I'm not accustomed to talks like this, I must admit. How can I frame this? Nobody even knows my real name. Are you actually comfortable confessing such a warmth towards someone so cold?
Clearly. No matter who you are or what you've done, I care about you. That won't ever change.
Now that is fresh.
I told you my feelings and you laughed. You're one of a kind, pal.
I'm sorry. I've got to admit, I thought I'd heard it all. But you've managed to surprise me. the first time anyone has ever said something so sincere without trying to get something out of me.
I could try to say it again with more swagger if that helps.
Nah, no need. Bash Bros has a nice ring to it. From here forward, we are forever Bash Bros, friend.
I've got your back, pal.
Listen, Shamir. I want to apologize for the conversation we had. I really embarrassed myself.
No need to apologize. I was not bothered.
I just want to make one thing clear. I don't resent my missions as a knight. I will complete any mission I'm told to carry out.
I know. In fact, you are the most loyal knight I have fought beside. You are no coward.
I think I am a coward, actually. Every night I fret about ghosts that don't really exist. I wish I could be as strong as you are. The fact is, I'm weak. There's nothing I can do to change it.
You should not mistake your kindness for weakness. You contemplate the lives you have taken because you care, even when the emotions may be frivolous. That is something I am not capable of. I am not the only one who has noticed. Everyone else sees your kindness and wishes to share in it.
Shamir.
It's okay to hold on to the ghosts of your past. They are a part of who you are. But you cannot let them hold onto you. If you are sad, others will notice and share in that as well.
I see. That makes sense. Optimism. Cheery old Alois, that's me.
He recovered quickly, and with surprising energy. Alois has many qualities I could never emulate. His positive and kind nature gives strength to those around him. Even to this Dagdan mercenary trying to find her place in an unfamiliar land.
Shamir! Stop lagging, start lagging!
Then again, he has many qualities that I do not wish to emulate.
Hey, Seteth. I've been meaning to ask you, what is your relationship with Lady Rhea?
That is certainly an abrupt question.
You're much closer to her than anyone else in the entire church. Certainly you're a good, upstanding person, but I can't help but feel there's something more to it.
Supporting the Archbishop is my sole professional interest. Personally, I consider her to be something akin to a companion.
A companion?
Yes, as in a traveling companion. Friends who walk the same path toward the same destination.
Companion, huh? A companion. I guess that does sound about right, now that you say it. Though, I'll confess to being quite jealous. Not many people can call themselves companions of Lady Rhea.
I do not know how she feels about it.
Oh, come on. You must trust that she feels the same about you.
There is no need for that sort of trust. My duties are the same regardless of her perspective. I consider you to be a companion also.
A companion in fighting for the Archbishop.
Certainly. Our goals are firmly aligned when it comes to that, are they not?
You're right, they are. I suppose you and I could be considered companions in that sense.
I am pleased to hear my sentiment reciprocated. I rely on you a great deal, after all. More than most.
Whoa there, what's all this now? Flattery won't win you any prizes with me, Seteth.
I do not flatter. I merely want you to understand why it matters to me that you be more cautious in battle. As your companion, it is my wish for you to be safe.
Oh, good, we're back in familiar territory, with you admonishing me. Don't worry, I'll be careful. I'll always try to live up to your expectations. So don't expect too much or you'll wear me out.
So that's it. I'm going to be a great mercenary just like Captain Gerald.
Ha! You skipped right to the conclusion. That's exactly what Gerald would do.
I know. I picked that up from him too.
That might not be the finest trait of his to emulate. In the end, it comes down to combat skill. Regardless, I'm happy to hear you say all this.
Why's that?
I've strived to become a knight at the level of Captain Gerald. But I'm an old man. I've come to accept that I will never be his match.
No, don't say that. You can't give up.
No, it's quite all right. I know myself and what I'm capable of. But you're still young. Youth is a weapon of the utmost power. Infinite possibility. We are both inspired by Captain Gerald. So I hereby bequeath to you my lofty ambitions.
That's... wow. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
No need to cry, Leonie. I'm relieved. My dream is in good hands with you. Captain Gerald is looking down proudly on you, I'm sure. Will you carry on his legacy?
Of course I will. Definitely.
Leonie, do you remember the story I told you once about what happened at the inn?
The hatchet throwing? Sure, I remember. Why?
Gerald ran up quite a tab with all his drinking, and he left without paying. Now his debt is due. And, as you have declared that you'll carry on his legacy, you see where I'm going with this.
Wait, what? That's got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me either. I don't drink. Even so, all this time, I've been paying it back little by little. And it's not just that one place. He owes money in towns all over Fodlan. I haven't been able to step into a tavern anywhere without being badgered for payment. Ugh, so exhausting. But now, I can say that the debts are for you to cover. You're still young, so I'm sure you'll manage in time. Thank you, Leonie!
Hold on, that's a joke, right? Hey, get back here! Take your lofty ambitions back! I don't want your stupid debts!
Hello, Manuella. I was just wondering, what was it like back when you were involved with that opera troupe? Your life must have been quite different from how it is here, I imagine.
My, how bold to ask an adult about their private life. I'll humor you, though. A diva's life is only glamorous while she's on stage. The rest of her time is consumed by grueling training. Just days and days of practicing, beginning at sunrise, with barely a moment to rest from one performance to the next. Then, once the performances begin, you're on stage for 3 shows a day. Absolutely exhausting. Is that anything like you imagined?
It sounds like a world all its own. Thank you. I find the topic fascinating. What sort of roles did you tend to be cast in? As the lead performer, did you play the part of a princess much? Oh, I can only imagine how illustrious that would be.
Yes, I was a princess once or twice. And it was quite something, let me tell you. All those royal jewels and flowing gowns. And they didn't just give me the pretty clothes to wear because I was beautiful, you know. I had to fight and claw my way into every role. But once I was there on stage, singing my solo, and all eyes were on me, it was worth it. I was rewarded for every one of my countless hours of practice. And the cheers when I finished a song, the applause. Oh, I can't properly explain it, but I can tell you, it's an experience I will cherish until the day I die.
Wondrous. It all sounds so very glamorous. Despite how rigorous a schedule you kept, it sounds like the hard work was worth those fleeting moments on stage. Mine has always been a quiet life. It is hard not to feel a twinge of envy, hearing such stories from you.
There's a lot to be said for the quiet life. It was never for me, of course. Still, I hear it's a pretty good deal for a lot of other folks. The thing is, Flayn, well, you always have to remind yourself that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, its shadows will be darker too.
What do you mean?
Nothing. It's a thing I hope you never come to understand. You know what? The next time you visit, I'll tell you all about the time I played a beautiful princess, and about the handsome prince she fell in love with.
Oh, please! I would love to hear all about it.
Professor Hanneman, what do you think of my progress so far?
To be blunt, you are still struggling more than I would expect.
Ah, I see. I suppose I need to give it a little more of that Alois oomph.
How does someone remain so upbeat when they are accomplishing, well, absolutely nothing?
Come again? I didn't quite catch that.
Just jabbering to myself. Pay me no mind.
All right. I've been wondering, why did you agree to train me in the first place? When I told everyone you were teaching me, they could hardly believe it.
Well, if I'm completely honest, you're less of a student and more of an experiment. You have no crest, but you might be able to learn magic, despite our early results. And the potential magical ability of those who lack a crest is precisely what I hope to research.
That's a surprise. A crest scholar researching people without crests?
When studying crests, it is also important to understand the effects of their absence. After all, the very reason for all of my research is to grant the power of a crest to anyone who desires it. If it is in fact possible to increase the magical potential of people lacking a crest, then I find myself one step closer to my goal. Hence, my experiments with you are quite valuable to my research.
Oh, that's wonderful! What a great man you are, Professor Hanneman. Truly a man among men. Why, if I could prove it's possible to use magic without a crest, what an honor that would be. Oh, please, use me as you see fit. I won't let you down, I promise.
Could you express your enthusiasm more quietly? And if at any point you wish to discontinue...
Oh no, I'm ready to go. Let's make a breakthrough. Come on, Hanneman. You should be shouting too. A bright future awaits.
No. Shouts and screams are detrimental to scholarly research, and to my ears.
Oh, I meant to tell you, I have some friends who struggle with magic as well. I'll ask them to help. Perhaps if we all chip in, we can make your dream a reality. Onward!
Alois! Forget it. That man never slows down. But I suppose I can appreciate why some are drawn to his exuberance.
I will not yield! Yeah! It's been a while since I had such a close call. If not for you, Professor, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't expect to be ambushed on a simple scouting mission. You should be asking about the mission, not about me. I have to ask, Professor, what brought you here? So you came to protect me. I'm beginning to understand why your allies love you. These are selfish times. One doesn't expect to encounter selflessness. You're kind. In that respect, I'd say you're much like Lady Rhea. Of course. It's thanks to her kindness that I'm here today. I was an outlaw in Fargus. She took me in and let me live here. Didn't I tell you? I was born into House Karen, in Fargus. They used to call me Thunderstrike Cassandra. I was implicated in a plot to kill the king. It was a totally false accusation, of course. I had to flee the kingdom, and the Archbishop took me in. I used to be a student at the academy, so I knew I'd be safe here. Lady Rhea saved me once when I was a student, you know. We were tasked with battling monsters, but we were ambushed. I almost died. Lady Rhea took care of me. She didn't mind getting dirty. She took my muddied, bloodied body into her arms. Since then, Lady Rhea has been my inspiration. I will always serve her, protect her, love her. For some reason, when I think about Lady Rhea, your face comes to mind. You've become an important presence in my life. I wasn't expecting you to have a positive response. I'm not thrilled about it personally. I am still going to keep my eye on you. Not so I can report to Lady Rhea, though. Just because I want to.
Listen carefully, Cyril. This is important. Are you interested in becoming a better archer?
Yeah. I always want to get better.
Good. Then you need to find another teacher.
What? Why would I need another teacher?
Because I said so.
Have I done something wrong, Shamir?
Not at all.
Why do I need a new teacher then?
I simply have nothing left to teach you.
Nah, that can't be true.
It is. Your fighting style is fundamentally different from mine. I'm a sniper. I find a secluded spot on the battlefield and pick my enemies off one by one. But you're a harrier. You weave in and out of the battlefield, assailing the enemy with rapid fire.
A sniper and a harrier?
Correct. And your progress has revealed where your strengths lie. I've taught you as much as I can. You'll have to find a teacher who specializes in your tactics if you wish to grow.
No, you're my teacher. That's how I want things. I don't know about specializations or whatever, but I know I don't want a different teacher.
Then you'll never improve.
I'm fine with you, and I don't want anyone else. I only want you, forever and ever.
Okay, Cyril, let's forget this conversation ever happened. And thank you. Now, stop standing around. We've work to do.
Yeah. Okay.
May I discuss something with you? I promised to help you find the truth of who you are, but I'm afraid it's not that simple. There are some details I have kept concealed. 5 years ago, before she vanished, I asked Rhea some pointed questions. I learned that she knows everything about you. No, that is understating it. Rhea is responsible for your existence. I could explain to you here and now what fragments of knowledge I was able to pry from Rhea. I fear, however, that a partial understanding might do you more harm than good. Once we save Rhea, you will know the whole of it. For now, that is all I can tell you. If you are still uncertain about your feelings, then permit me to add one more thing. You, Rhea, and I, we are like family. Because of those deep ties, you can be certain that I will never abandon or betray you. On the contrary, I greatly wish to see what your future holds. I am, and will always be, your ally. You are not wrong. History is full of examples. I don't believe that will be the case here, but I suppose all I can do is ask for your trust. The truth is, you have become indispensable to me. And that is true quite independently of whether I see eye to eye with Rhea, or even whether we are friends. After this war is over, where I go and what I do will depend wholly on you. I am still trying to figure that out myself. Perhaps it is just that I find you so fascinating that I cannot bring myself to leave your side. I dislike a one-sided conversation, but in this case I am afraid I had no choice. Our future is yours to determine.